How's it going? Alright, tonight's going to be a bit of a push night. Now, I've had to deviate from what I normally do. Those of you who watch my stuff relatively regularly will know I suffered a bit of a pec strain about two and a half, maybe 3 weeks ago now. So I've had to really back off chest, basically. A few years ago, well, quite a few years ago now, it's over 10 years ago now, I actually tore my pec, I tore my right pec. So I've got quite a lot of scar tissue in that little area. And I was benching 120 kilos, which is, not particularly heavy for me, we'll say. And somehow or other I ended up straining it, and what actually happened is some of that scar tissue that I've got in my chest kind of shifted around a little bit, and I think I had a little bit of a minor tear in the actual scar tissue itself, which was very uncomfortable. I stopped, so I was sensible. As a younger man, I'd have just carried on, no pain, no gain, and all that kind of stuff, but I'm old now, and I've had more than enough injuries to learn my lesson. So anyway, it's 2.5, 3 weeks later. I have trained chest a little bit, but extremely light, just kind of getting the mobility going. Now, it's starting to feel a little bit better. It's starting, I'm not really feeling the tightness that I had been feeling and experiencing for the last couple of weeks. So the idea of tonight is I'm just going to test it out a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of weight on it, but when I say a little bit, I'm just going to play it by ear. I'm going to, in an ideal world, work up to anywhere around 180 plus will be okay, which is obviously considerably down from my usual very heavy stuff, because like 3 weeks ago, I think it was, I topped out at 290. So 180 will be a nice little tester, and if I've got a little more in the tank, I'll do that. I know the strength will be there, and I know as soon as everything's knitted itself back together, these sort of 200 kilos plus will be there. So the idea of tonight is it's almost exploratory. I'm going to see what feels comfortable, what doesn't feel comfortable, and I'll find a working weight. I might do triples, I might do sets of 5, just going to play it by ear. I'm probably going to do a Viking press. The reason for that is I find that's pretty good for shoulder mobility, and when you've got an injury, what normally happens if things start to bunch up, your body naturally kind of closes up, and I find a Viking press really allows my shoulders to open up, and I can like push my head through my shoulders. Anyway, wish me luck. What you'll notice there is I'm basically just taking my time with it. At the moment, I'm not really lifting what you'd say power. I'm just more sort of flexing out to the bottom. I suppose more like a bodybuilder would rather than a powerlifter would. Like I said, I'm just testing the pec. I'm going to go to 140. 100 felt okay, 140. See how that goes. having to lift. It's, to be honest with you, it's more nerves than anything. And because I'm not really just powering out, things feel a lot heavier. So I'm doing a much more slow, controlled move. The confidence will come back, but having torn a pec before took me a very, very, very long time to recover from that, like years. So I'd rather take my time and be cautious. I'd imagine 180 will be okay for today. I'm going to go to 180 now. And then maybe next session I'll build up to maybe 220 or something like that. But I think I'm going to go up to 180 and just get some work with 180. Maybe some triples, I'll see. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to be sensible because even though I'm almost 46, I do get carried away sometimes. That's what I say, I'm taking a deliberate tempo with it. I suppose these are what you call tempo reps. A reasonably slow, controlled negative, pause on the chest, and then squeeze out rather than explode out. And as I said, I'm just doing this to be cautious. When I'm sort of going for my heavy stuff ordinarily, I do quite a controlled descent, but normally I really explode out. But I just don't want to risk that today. So yeah, I'm going to top off at 180. I'm going to get 3 sets of 5 with 180. And I think then I'll move on. So not too bad. Okay, set number 2. Slow, controlled reps. So, there is more in the tank there, but I'm fighting back that little voice in my head. Go and do 220, Mark. 5 plates is really, no. Not today, not today, not today. Be sensible, Mark, be sensible. Okay, third work set with 180. Again, I'm going to take my time, slow controlled negative, pause for a second or so, lock out. Again, trying not to use too much power at the bottom. It's relatively slow and controlled. So, to be fair, my chest is feeling pretty pumped already. I don't ordinarily bench press heavier weights like this. So I'm feeling it. Something's happening. Third set. Live to fight another day. That was okay. That was okay. So, as I said, as the confidence builds, within the next couple of weeks, I'll be back over 200 again, I believe. Yeah, I'd say 2 more sessions. I should be back. Hopefully around 220-ish, something like that. We'll see. Alright then, on to my next exercise. So this is the Viking press, which is essentially a standing press, a standing shoulder press. Now, again, the idea is I'm trying to rehabilitate the pec, and as I may have alluded to earlier on, when you've got an injury, a lot of time your body just kind of naturally seizes up and curls over. So what I'm trying to do is just open up the pec, open up the shoulders, restore mobility at the moment. So once again, I'm going to use a reasonably controlled style. I'm going to do more in the way of a strict press than a push press. I'm going to go as heavy as I can without really hurting myself. I don't know what the weight is in hand. Theoretically, this would be 100 kilos. I couldn't honestly tell you. I think the handle here weighs 10 kilos. I've got 4 20 plates plus the bar, so that would be 100 kilos. As I said, in terms of leverage, I don't know. My setup, I've got the pivot point quite high, so you catch a lot more of the weight. I've also got a landmine setup that I sometimes use, but you just don't get anywhere near the weight. But having the pivot point much higher, you feel a lot more weight in your hand, way, way, way harder. So as I said, I'm going to go as heavy as I can in a reasonably strict form. I'll warm up probably doing about 8 reps with this, and then I'll add a little bit of weight. So I'll probably go up a little bit at a time and just see how it goes. So I'm deliberately pushing my head through my shoulders, opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest. I'm going to do 10. Feels quite nice actually. I feel everything stretching in a good way. Yeah, my strongest recommendation to anyone who's coming back from an injury, take your time with it. Really work on your mobility. As soon as you're able, get that joint mobilised, get the area mobilised, within reason. Whatever works for you. Okay, so I've gone up to, how many plates? I don't even know actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 20 plates, that's 120 kilos, plus the bar, plus the handle. So it's going to be 140-ish. I said I know the handle is 10 kilos, but As I said, it's very difficult to say exactly what I've got because of the leverage points. Again, I'm going to try and do this in a relatively strict style. Try not to use any leg drive. Push to the top, open the shoulders up, he says before he's done it. Not too bad. I added a couple of reps, to be honest with you. I think, what was that, 8, 10 reps I think that was. It just felt good. I could feel everything opening up, so don't be afraid to, change things on the fly. It felt nice. So I think I'm gonna put another plate on. So it'll be 720 plates. And I think I'll probably top out there, get a set of whatever I can get. We'll see how it goes. Ooh. That wasn't bad for strict press form. I used my legs a little on the last one or two, but for quite a strict style, that wasn't bad, not bad. Okay, with band pushdowns, I literally at the moment got some extremely light yellow bands. I think at full extension these are like 15 kilos or something like that. Very, very light. And I just do very high repetitions. I'm not going to film all of the sets. I wasn't really planning to film this one, but I thought, you know what, someone might be interested. So I just set up, I wrap it to make it short, to give myself a bit more tension, and I just extend, basically. As I said, it's extremely light, but I can feel everything squeezing and contracting, get a nice bit of blood in the area. And when you've got things like tendonitis, tendons don't actually have their own blood supply, so you kind of have to make a blood supply almost. They don't tend to just get better by themselves. You have to actually do something and be proactive in your recovery. And it's not by any means the worst tendonitis I've ever had, but I'm beginning to feel it come on. And those who've had tendonitis before will know it can really, really suck. It can be very debilitating. So I'm just treating it nice and easy. I have no idea how many reps that is. I'm going to do another 20. I was talking to you guys. I was far too distracted by your lovely company. Do 10 more and then we'll be good. Like I said, I'm not going to film all of the sets. But that's nice. Nice little pump. So tendonitis for me is right around there. But already he's feeling a little bit more lubricated. Another variation I do is almost in an overhead extension style. So wrap my hands again, making it relatively short. And I just get myself in this kind of position and just again extend. Just get a nice little stretch, nice little contraction. With bands, you don't really feel the stretch in the same way. It's more about contraction. Which, if you're looking for muscle growth, this isn't the exercise to do. But if you're looking for sort of rehabilitation and a bit of a pump, these are pretty good. Now, I've seen some people do them very quickly. I don't find that works for me. I take a relatively slow and controlled style. Relatively slow. So I would highly recommend throwing bands in with anything you do. Bands are cheap. They're very portable. They're a great way of making things heavier. I suppose you can do reverse band as well to make things a little lighter, to help you get through sticking points and things like that. So a good quality set of bands is a must, I would say, for most kind of serious gym rats. They are really, really good. You know, things like face pulls, band pull aparts, just like mobility work, mobilizing yourself before you go into a bench press or whatever. Really, really good. Again, completely lost count. I'm going to do another 10 because I'm getting a nice burn now. I've lost count on the 10. Oh, Lord. It's been a very long day at work. Well, there you go. That's an idea, giving you a couple of ideas about what you can do with bands. All right, workout's done now. So, pretty pleased overall. Quite a successful little workout, considering what I was going up against today. Bench press, 180 kilos, for, what was that for? 3 sets of 5, in a very, very, very slow, controlled manner. So I was quite pleased with that overall. Obviously nowhere near the amount I ordinarily move, but it was enough weight to feel I could get a lot of pec activation, and ultimately it didn't hurt. I didn't feel too bad. I didn't feel any scar tissue. I didn't feel the injury too much. I took my time and lifted in a very controlled manner. But I can come away saying, oh, my pec feels okay. Over the next couple of weeks, I will slowly but surely add a little bit more weight, and all being well, within the next couple of weeks, I'll be back up to 220 or so kilos. I'll maybe try 200 next time and then 220 after that. I'll see how it goes. I said to you guys before, I'm not competing. Sometimes injuries just come along and they're there to test us. It is annoying. We all have it happen to us. It happens to the best of us. You guys saw like 2-3 weeks ago, I got back up to a 290 kilo bench in the view of benching a little bit over 300 in the upcoming weeks. And instead, I'm back down to 180 because I had an injury. But, sometimes these things are thrown there to test us. And because I'm not competing, doesn't really matter. It's not that serious. But yeah, so the bench was all right. The standing shoulder press, the Viking press, was very effective as well. And pretty heavy in that kind of strict press style. I said to you guys before, I don't know what the actual weight is in hand. It is very difficult to say, but it is heavy enough. There were 720 plates, the bar and the handle on top. So theoretically, that would be around 150. I know it isn't 150 in hand, but it was heavy enough to feel. And as I said, I did it in quite a strict style. But more importantly, it was just nice to kind of open up the shoulder and just kind of stretch out all that scar tissue. Because as I said to you guys before, naturally we sort of bunch up when we are injured. And then I just showed you guys a few band pushdowns. I've done 4 sets of it now. Again, not super interesting, but bands can really, really help with rehabilitation, because anytime we get injured, other body parts take over, because the human body is an amazing thing and it just wants to survive. So you know what it's like if you've got a bad back and you go and squat. You know your hips are going to hurt, you know your knees are going to hurt, something's going to start hurting because those other areas start taking over from the main area. And as I said, I've been getting a little bit of tendonitis over the last few sessions, just because I know I'm probably using my triceps a lot more than I ordinarily do in the bench press. But, you know, hey ho, that's life. Right then, I am going to go and get some food. Because I am hungry. So thank you as always to you guys who comment regularly. Really appreciate it. It's lovely going backwards and forwards with you. So thank you very much to all of you as always. Thank you to the new subscribers. And yeah, just keep on. I'm just going to keep on plugging away. Channel, it's slowed down a bit. The views have dropped, but you know, it comes with the territory. I'm making content that I kind of enjoy, and those of you who do watch regularly, hopefully you're enjoying the kind of things. I just like seeing people lift heavy stuff. Don't get involved in drama, don't get involved in nonsense, and, you know, just keep it blessed and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what I'm trying to put out to the world. Enjoy lifting, keep it positive. Anyway, you guys take care, and I'll speak to you soon.